safe. Soon as we step out the cage, we raising all of the stakes. Make no mistake, either you stay in your place or
bomb.
Just like they bombed in the comics.
What about this guy? You think this guy can make it for the Avengers?
Diamond Days, a ninja teaching flex. I need let me see the sign there. Come on in here, ninja. Here's my ninja. Diamond Dave's Ninja School. Come on down. What we're going to teach you, hold that, Lord, and what we're going to teach you in our first episode is a proper stance and a proper kung fu. And you got your Judy chop, all right? You got your karate chop, and you got your ninja chop. Now, what smart thing to do is like when you use a judo chopping, you gotta say it, you know, for you beginners, you know, like a Judy chop. Because what you don't want to do is like be a Judy chopping and a kung fu kicking, and there goes your leg. You know, there ain't much hauling for a one-legged ninja out there. Right there, hard as a rock, buddy. Let me show you something. I'll have last time, baby. Don't put it in front of your face. I don't want to hurt you. But you got me? Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to work on the ninja chops. What we're going to do. You go a ninja chop. Well, now see, now sometimes it don't always work for a ninja, you know, but it practice makes it perfect. Don't go ninja nobody, don't need ninja, alrighty? Now them things there, if I was put them in my pockets, they'd get me for concealment of a deadly weapons. It says you got your son fella coming at you out in the trailer park. Regular cannon you say? No, says I. Watch this, people. Yeah, we just rolling through the trailer park. What's that? What's that fella doing? Ninja start. Right there. That son fella jumps up behind a trailer on you. You know, you got to put them on out yonder like that, and you can't get him caught up in your ninja outfit, you know. And like if a fella's coming at you with...
Dude, that guy lived right next door to me, man.
Yo, what the hell was that weapon he pulled out there, DM? Was that a crack pipe? Like,
it looked like a damn skull can or something, didn't it?
Where did you find that?
Listen, hey, that guy that he said that in, that is his interview tape for the Special Olympics Avengers.
I do that.
There you go, Kim and Blair. Me and Cyber are sending you guys to Diamond Dave's ninja kung fu class or whatnot. Everything. You're going to get your gift certificate at the end of the show. Right?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
We don't pay guests with checks. We will give you gift certificates to shit like Diamond Dave's Judy chop classes and shit. Right? That way you can get down with Shogun at like a real high level. Right?
There we go.
Get deep and shit.
Maybe people want to fight each other.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
and David Dave is no joke. But anyways, folks, this is the MCU'S YouTube channel and podcast. We are about to drop a sick fucking recap of Shogun Chapter 5. And we're waiting for Andre's pop culture guy, Time Lord, Time Cop, sir. He is time slipping or time traveling right now. He'll be around at some point. Either way, please support our creators and please support the MCU'S Bleeding Edge by simply liking, following, subscribing always helps, and please turn notifications on to the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel so that you're aware we'll be live on Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and Friday nights, like tonight, right? That way you can check us out and get in the comment section and say hello. In the meantime, please again support the individual, content of all the creators on the show, like Kim and Blair, like Cyber, like Andres when he comes on. And thank you for supporting the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. We are on the edge of live comedic, somewhat informative entertainment. The MCU'S Bleeding Edge. You like that shit? There you go. How about that, Cyber? ChatGPT came up with that.
I think it's take our last name off.
Really?
That's pretty good, right?
Not bad.
I let it round out a description the other day, and it gave me that at the end. It was, but better. Like it said it better than I did. I gotta actually write it down. But either way, so thank you to ChatGPT on that because that was really killer. But thank you for coming on again, Kim, Blair. Got the flu and shit.
I know. You hear that? Blair's got she's got the black lung.
The dog ate your dog ate your weed and shit. He got
Look,
no weed.
Jeff, look, I popped my gummies.
times.
I'm ready. I popped my gummies. I'm feeling my lungs are a lot better than hers. I'm feeling a lot
Gummies. I don't know about gummies. Ask Cyber how the last time that we've had ladies on that have ate gummies and edibles and whatnot, how they've done on the shows. We've had some experiences. We'll just put it that way.
I'm an OG though. I'm
You've seen Cal in the chat on Facebook. One time, she was so stoned from one of her edibles one night that like she actually went in the private chat and was like, "Jeff, stop smiling at me," because I was smiling through the screen and shit and whatnot. Cyber, is that what she said? Don't smile at me anymore, or something like that, or stop smiling at me.
Well, she basically was saying like, I can't stop getting that evil grin out of my face. I can't stop.
Here she is
staring at me.
No shit.
Funny.
Look at that. Here she is too. Yeah, Cal had a moment. She's like, "Jeff, stop smiling at me."
That's so funny. Yeah, fun, Kelly.
I'm like, I'm behind the screen. I'm smiling at everybody. I know I'm smiling at you. Hey, Cal. That's right. I was talking shit about you before you came on, hon. How about that? You caught me.
Hey, it was good shit though.
That's me getting you back for making fun of my chicken legs and shit and whatnot in the chat a while back. Whatnot. I didn't forget about that shit. Anyways. So, folks, Chapter 5, Shogun, Cyber. What do you think, man? Show's just getting better and better, right?
This show is by far the fucking best series that I've seen in the last 4 years. By hands down.
Look at that, folks.
So amazing. This show keeps getting better and better with each episode, and it feels complete. It feels fun. It feels entertaining. Every episode, you're just drawn in, and it doesn't feel like it's compounded or compressed down by a whole bunch of other ideas that it doesn't need to be a part of it. No. So that's the great part about this show. It feels like a genuine remake of the original from 1980.
Well, the reason I was holding my heart was because I picked this show for us. And so, like, to hear Cyber say that and whatnot, everything is very, like, complimentary to me. You know what I mean? And whatnot,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cyber is very critical of television series and movies and whatnot, everything, in terms of he doesn't give anything a break to anybody, maybe except for like the MCU, whatever, whatnot, the original Sixth Avenger type shit and whatnot. Maybe he's got some bias, but other than that, he always comes into everything with like a wide open kind of viewpoint. But it's like I was telling you earlier, Kim, this shit is like changing lives, right? Like seriously. Yeah. Like you don't go out when I don't surf the social media platforms that much, but when I do go on like Twitter, X and shit, all I see is like glowing shit people are saying about Shogun.
It's right. I haven't heard one bad review like at all.
No,
I mean down from like the cinematography to the dialogue to the wardrobe to costumes, like to the choreography, everything. It's just
They didn't spend any pennies or dimes or whatever on the budget, and like they covered all their bases. It's heavily well produced on every angle, every aspect that you would ask for, and like Cyber said, it's great because there's no messaging in it. There's no like woke anything or whatever whatnot. It's just purely good entertaining television, right? That's for adults, Although I don't think it would hurt like a teenager to watch this, to be honest with you. I think it would probably mature them a little bit. Seriously. But now, honestly, we didn't have you guys on, Kim or Blair, so I just want to give you one chance before Andres comes on and we get into episode 5 or chapter 5. Blackfoot finally fucking stuck it to Mariko in episode 4. And I know y'all were really fucking like excited about that, like all the ladies out there that are down with Shogun.
We kept predicting
that.
I'll
whoever wants to go first and then whoever wants to go second, tell me what your thoughts were of us finally getting Blackfoot showing Rico his long sword or whatever. His long katana.
Well, me, I was excited about it because this is the one thing that I was anticipating since I heard that we were going to be covering Shogun and watching it, because me, like I love the romantic side of all the things. So as soon as I saw them put together like in the very first scene together, I was like, okay, this is gonna happen. I know it will, because why wouldn't it? And then it has to, because of course, Toranaga had taken off for a bit. No, Toranaga taken off for a bit, and then they thought
that's right. They gave that. He gave that opening.
Right. Yeah. And so all of a sudden, it's he's here, and then the tension pops up, and all the sexual tension, and then it happens. I was so happy finally.
But it was really quick though. Like if that was real time, Blackfoot only lasted for like a minute. So that was a lot. That was a lot of buildup for like not much payoff, right? I mean,
yeah, no, right.
What do you think, Blair? If that was real time, do you think Mariko maybe had to bust out some like feudal Japanese like dildo or like something or whatever whatnot, or a sex toy or whatever whatnot, made out of wood or something to finish herself off?
Yeah, I think she would have been highly disappointed, but somehow she wasn't. So I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe magic. So Blackthorn's probably got magic.
They're all into really freaky. They're all into like freaky shit, like seriously, like Yabushigi and shit and whatnot. So like, it wouldn't surprise me if they probably have some like sex toys.
Probably.
Like
oh yeah. They've got this little ancient stuff they would find in the caves and stuff years ago when they go excavate. They would find stuff. I'm like,
yeah, you got like vibrators made out of rocks and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Wasn't that made to come back or whatever? The jade eggs.
Those, yeah, I know.
There's probably going to be a sex toy named after Blackthorn by the end of Shogun. Like that's how good it is. They're going to name sex toys after Blackthorn.
Right, probably. That would not surprise me.
Cyber, you should think about that. See if you can come up with a good title for that, a good funny title for what the Blackthorn sex toy would be called. I know it's hard. I tried to do it off the cuff, and I couldn't come up with anything at all. It stumped me. See, this is what we need Andres. If he was here, he would.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, you could call it the Blackie. You could call it.
I don't know about that. That's rough, man. The Blackie. That's fucking. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Hey, you can. What is this?
What is this? What is this? Is this 1930? Or some shit?
Well, this is the 1600s. It's the 1600s there. So
so you're trying to like connect it to like the feudal Japanese shit.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
Only
that's what I was trying to do in my head.
To me, I'm just thinking Blackie as a color black. I'm not thinking of anything else. It's just Blackie because his name's got Blackthorn.
We're post-racial here at the MCU'S video. So when we use labels like Blackie or something or whatever that people like, it's truly just right, guys. What do you think? Would you want to buy a product called Blackie?
I mean, or a BBC, I wouldn't mind.
That's funny. Same. Oh my god, that's too much. Too much. How come there's no abbreviation for like big white dick or whatnot? Like what would that be called? Like, well, how come that's not a thing?
That'll work too.
Because I've seen some white dudes. They got some big like cannons and whatnot. I'm telling you right now, just as big as brothers. Right?
BWC is the acronym, sir.
Cyber, you've seen the one, I'm sure, before too, brother. You know what I'm saying? Me and Cyber are old dudes, so like we're old school. We used to go to gym and shower with all the other dudes and shit, and then gym class and all that.
I tried to make sure I wasn't staring, but if it came with the view, yeah, that would happen. Yeah.
I used to scare the shit out of the younger players on the football team and whatnot, everything. I would like shave my privates and shit like all that and whatnot right in the showers, openly, by myself in the locker room or whatever, whatnot, like after practice or whatever, whatnot, or before or some shit. And I just be like staring at them and shit. I'm telling you, I was something else. But anyways, folks, moving on to Shogun Chapter 5. Andres, we hope you're okay out there, brother. We really do. I hope you didn't get stuck in like some like side dimension or something or multiverse of madness shit. But so Chapter 5 is, I believe, called what? Broken to the Fist. Now, the episode is titled Broken to the Fist because it's focusing on the evolving perspectives of characters like Blackthorn and the intricate relationships and conflicts within feudal Japan, highlighting the significance of understanding and assimilating into the complex social customs. Blackthorn's interaction with the gardener that you see right from jump in the episode, bitching about having to pick up the bodies left over from episode 4 from that whole canon deal. Blackthorn's interaction with the gardener and the metaphor of a garden needing a rock parallels the overarching theme of stability and the roles of characters play within their domains, illustrating the subtleties of leadership and belonging in this feudal Japanese society. The episode delves into political intrigue and maneuvering among the characters, particularly Toranaga's strategic decisions and the tensions arising from military actions and alliances, revealing the depth of the power struggle that continues to roil through the series. Personal relationships and conflicts are explored, with characters like Mero and Fuji facing challenges and changes in their dynamics due to the return of a previously fought deceased character, leading to a mix of tension and humor in their interactions. The episode culminates in significant character developments and a deeper understanding of the cultural and personal complexities, with key moments involving loyalty, honor, and the clash between personal desires and societal expectations, setting the stage for future episodes. So, the episode itself, or the chapter itself, chapter 5, is directed by Frederick E.O. Toy, and it was written by Matt Lambert. Now, this is going to be another episode or another chapter where we've got another new director, I believe. Let me look real quick. No, this is Frederick E.O. Toy did episode 4 as well, The Eightfold Fence. But he had different writers on that one, Nigel Williams and Emily Yoshida. We've got Matt Lambert on this one. So we've got a new writer completely for the first time in the series on this chapter, which I'm really liking them doing that so far. I really am. And that's where I want to start right here, is going to you, Blair, and then to you, Kim, and then to you, Cyber. And then I'm going to check on Andres while you guys are answering my question. What do you think about the fact that they've mixed things up during the series and given us different directors and different writers with each chapter? Starting off with the first chapter, Engine, where we had Jonathan Van Tuliken directing, with Rachel Kondo and Justin Marks writing. And then on the second episode, or second chapter, we had Rachel Kondo and Justin Marks writing again with Jonathan Van Tuliken. So we had two of the same. Then in episode 3, they changed it up on us with Charlotte Brandstrom. A woman came in and directed the episode, with Shannon Goss, another woman who wrote it. Then we had Frederick E.O. Toy come in for chapter 4, The Eightfold Fence, with Nigel Williams and Emily Yoshida. And now we've got Matt Lambert and we've got Otoy again for chapter 5, right? What is the significance to that to you, Blair? And what do you think of that dynamic that they don't have one director and one writer in the series?
I feel like it's a good way to mix up and keep things fresh and give it a different point of view, because it kind of like, I feel like that kind of thing could set the tone for each episode, more like each scene or each situation that's going on, because it's like it keeps it from being too one-dimensional. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can expound. Go ahead.
Yeah, so because I feel like that whenever they do that, because like a long time ago, whenever I kind of really start diving deep into just like TV shows and in general stuff, I didn't really understand a point of that. It sounds like some episodes better than others, but like if they were directed by someone else and produced by someone else, it happens, I mean, sometimes like you're not gonna not everything's one size fits all. But I feel like it's always appropriate a lot of times, especially because some people might have a better like understanding of what maybe what the producer or the director's looking for like, say for example, from like episodes maybe like 1 and 2, then someone else episode 3, and because I feel like that it's like, even if there's a different points of view, I feel like it kind of can bring a continuity. But I like that. I think the fact they changed things up, but it keeps it interesting.
Okay, Kim, same question.
Okay, for me, I feel like the stories are told a little bit differently. Like this one, it almost seemed like it was almost had like a comedic kind of like balance to it. And then the one before it, episode 4 to me, it almost had like a dance to it, the way it was done. And then the way episode 3 to me, it was almost like that in a way, it was almost felt like it also felt like a choreographed dance in a way, but to me it was more of like, for whatever reason, I just almost got like this whole Matrix sense of it, just like the way, just the speed. And for me, I just saw the speed of that. But I feel
I feel the movement was just very different. And that's the one thing that stands out for me the most. Because like with me, like I love looking at movement and costumes and graphics and lighting.
Cyber, what do you think, sir? What are your thoughts on, for instance, the two chapters that that Mr. Frederick Toy has directed? Have you noticed anything really stark as far as a difference in the series with his directing and the different writing?
Offhand, no. I feel each episode is very similar to each other. I see a solid pattern between all 5 episodes so far. They all coincide very well with each other. I feel the directing and the acting is all same par throughout the whole entire series so far. And it's not actually very uncommon for them to have different writers and different directors for each episode in TV series. This is actually a very common thing. Because if you go and look at other TV series, even 30, 40 years ago, a lot of the times they never, some shows would have the same director if they were a big show like Perfect Strangers or Home Improvement for the several first seasons had the same director. But for the most part, most TV shows, they had different directors and different writers each episode, and that's what made each episode so unique. And so that's one thing you'll notice is that each of these 5 episodes that we've gotten so far from these different writers, you can see that the information that they provided works out perfectly and coincides with the other previous writers. So I think that it's been a smart idea to really do that really randomly throughout these episodes. And it's kept the story, even though the story itself is very coherent and very stretched across these 5 episodes, and you understand it very well. Each of these writers understood what the previous writer wrote. So they all have been writing it very well. And I think that it's working well for this series.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense because now I think about it, because our cousin, she directed an episode of Grey's Anatomy a few years back. Yeah.
Well, I don't normally heavily pay that much attention to some of the more logistical aspects sometimes of some of these TV series. I probably should spend more time with it. I heard the little bloop button. I guess that means Time Lord. Excuse me, Bat Lord is here.
Hey, Andreas.
Hey, Andreas. Hello, guys.
Oh, what's up, asshole? Late as usual. Don't tell me.
Look, he's got him.
Oh, double. That's a double FU.
Yes, that's what it means. Sorry, folks, I'm late. I had to finish up the episode, and I'm very sick today. So.
That's okay, folks.
It's going around.
Yeah,
You see,
Core Bleeding Edge fans know all about your time traveling, time slipping, bullshit or whatever, So.
Oh my god.
We just haven't been talking about it a lot lately and whatnot because we have a lot of new creators on and whatnot that don't know about your time exploits. That's all. They'll find out though. Andres, I was just asking the panel their thoughts on in Shogun how we've had different directors on the chapters and different writers and things like that and whatnot. They had the one same director on the first 2 chapters with the same writing team. Then they changed it up for chapter 3. Yeah. Now we have the same director for chapter 4 and 5 with different writers on each chapter. But Cyber just highlighted the consistency of the chapters, right? With the writing and whatnot. So what do you think? I mean, I'd have to imagine the reason that even with the just to change the question up a little bit for you, if you agree with Cyber, if you agree that the writing has been consistent, there really hasn't been a big change with the different writers and different directors, with the tone of the show and the how well it's been. Do you think that that it has to do with probably that they have a showrunner in place that has told these people told them straight up with a coherent story and explanation of what they want from them in terms of the episodes and how the series should be done? What do you think? What do you think of them having the different directors and the different writers and its impact on the series?
I mean, it's been pretty good actually. It's been very consistent. when you have a show like this, I think the vision is very like communicated very well by everyone. And I mean, this show has been actually in production since 2020. I think I last checked. So when you have a one production film,
they really took their time.
Yeah, they took their time, and on that they probably changed certain things. Maybe they didn't work out, and then they made a good decision for this show. And so it's been very consistent, and and that's a good thing. When you see a project like this, you see the passion and the care that they're putting on in the screen, which is really great. Because when you have a show that's you have this one great at one point, and then kind of dip because of maybe something happened. Like I don't want to compare this to the Disney Plus shows, but like that where I get their vision, but then some half point they were instructed into changing this and whatnot. But here you don't see that. You see a very consistent vision from the creators, which is good, and the quality has been excellent. I mean, the budget has been right there in the money. I mean, it's really the characters you need to care about, and that's been the good thing about the show. Is that I care about all these characters so far, and I understand where they're coming from episode 1 since then. So yeah, it's been good. I mean, you don't have to worry about directors. I think each director can show you different ways they can take the story and how to communicate that with us. And some directors can stick around 1 or 3 episodes, and if not, they can just direct 1 episode of the schedule. That's how it is. So it's always the writers. The writers are the important thing about TV shows. Compared to filmmaking is about everyone. But with television shows and TV shows in general, it's the writers. The writers are the important people. And so far, this show, the writers have been very excellent on how to communicate the vision of Shogun, this new version of the show. Because I know there's another show from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. Now, basically, and I just want to go ahead and just shout out and thank all the people that we have right now on YouTube currently checking us out and whatnot and all that. We appreciate all of you checking out the live. Feel free to jump in the comment section anytime you want. If you have any, anything you want to drop or add or any questions during the conversation. Shout out to Rumble, shout out to everybody on X, and shout out to everybody on Twitch. We don't have huge audiences on all the different platforms on Facebook, but we do have people right now watching us on those platforms. We appreciate all of you. The episode or chapter, I apologize, I get confused with the episode, chapter, part thing sometimes. Starts off with what I think is a very important scene where right off the bat, we see 2 very integral characters to the chapter that are sort of very under the radar, right? In terms of their presence in the series. And those, of course, are right off the bat, we see Vijiro, the gardener of Blackthorn's house, bitching about having to pick up the bodies and the gory bodies and shit and whatnot from, basically from, Toranaga's son's cannon attack, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Against Josen in chapter 4. And bitching, and the guy he's bitching to is Toranaga's secret agent spy guy in the village and whatnot, everything, right? That keeps an eye out and shit and whatnot, what's going on for him, right? Outside of the political dichotomy of Omi, right, and Yoshiga, right, and all these different players, his son. That's we see both of them. And he's also the same character who first translates for Blackfoot when he first shows up in E2 or whatever, whatnot, when he gets pissed on by Obi and all that shit and whatnot. His first translator is the secret spy guy from Toranaga, from the opening scene. We've seen him in multiple episodes, just very briefly. But he speaks a little bit of English or British or whatever, whatnot. So we see them right off the bat picking up the bodies. And then one of them says, "What is that sound?" or whatever, whatnot. And you hear this rumbling and the sound coming. And he's like, "Oh my God, it's an army. Thousands of people or whatever, whatnot." And you see the army, and it's Toranaga's army. And it's a really good shot. It looks really fucking awesome. Right?
Does.
It's sick. The power of his army looks fucking massive. And all his generals are decked out in Shogun outfits and shit and whatnot, and all that, right? They look sick. They killed it in the costume area when it came down to the army. Right off that, basically, we see Toranaga confront his son, Nakano, or however the hell you pronounce his name, about and give him sort of a speech, one of his usual, Shakespearean little, speeches, whatever, whatnot, that he likes to give his son or people in general about men and about, how people are and all that. It basically says to him, you were poisoned by other people and whatnot, right? Or whatever, and uses the name, the title of the chapter right there with him. The whole broke to the fist. And strips him leading command of the cannon regiment, right? And actually, compliments Obi for getting drunk on sake and getting his son to get all fired up and whatnot and kill Josen, right? And then later on, we see him, of course, like fuck with Shigi some more and tell him, like, saying that like Obi, like he's happy with Obi and shit and whatnot. Like, don't discipline him. I'm gonna give him a medal. Oh my God! All of a sudden, we get our like. I'm gonna stop after this and go to the panel. But right after that, we get our Godzilla -1 moment of Shogun. When, what a shock! We knew it was gonna happen, right, guys? It had to happen. Who's the fuck shows up? But fucking Mariko's husband, fucking Batero, pops up out of nowhere. I'm like, oh shit! I knew it. I knew this motherfucker was alive. We all knew it. Shogun, like, you motherfuckers at FX Studios and Shogun thought you were sly and shit, but like, we all knew the motherfucker was not dead. Come on. Seriously.
Yep. I knew it. I called it.
So, but either way, though, my dick still got really hard when I saw that. Even though Montero's not a very attractive man, and he's kind of a chauvinist prick, and like wife beater and shit and whatnot, I was still like, oh, fuck. There's Montero, right? I knew it. So there you go, Andres. Our Godzilla -1 moment of Shogun, right? And folks, anyone who's seen Godzilla -1 knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, you should know what Jeff's talking about. Oh my God, yeah, it's very true.
Anyways, we see Montero, right? Which I think everybody who watched that was probably like, oh fuck, or whatever, right? After fucking Blackthorn fucking banged Mariko in episode 4, it's like, oh shit. And then we find out from jump he's gonna go live with them.
Yep, I know, right?
In the house and shit and whatnot. And I've been down with Toranaga's decision making so far, but on that one, I really had to question him. And I was like, what the fuck are you thinking here? Right? Like, how is that a positive situation? It doesn't matter whether you know that Mariko is fucking Blackfoot or not, right? I'm sorry, Kim, but like Blackthorn is going to be called Blackfoot at least half the time from now on because of you. It has to happen.
Yes, let's do it after me.
No, I mean it's from you.
I know it is.
You might as well you deserve your props. Without you, there'd be no Blackfoot.
There would be.
Just like there'd be without you, Cyber, there'd be no Blackie. There's Montero. He survived his ordeal or whatever, whatnot. Toranaga says that like a group of Shogun showed up or whatever, whatnot, and helped him fight out of there. And like out of 18 of them or whatever, whatnot, like 2 made it alive all the way to like Ito or whatever, right? From where they had to fight to. And he is all fucked up. When you see Montero, he's all fucked up. He's all caught up in shit and whatnot, and like obviously been through all kinds of like hell. He's all pissed off, but he's always pissed off. So then Blackthorn is gifted a pheasant by Toranaga, which he hangs in the front yard of the house, telling the household not to touch it till it ages or whatever, right? Which I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And actually saying not thinking about it, not being good with his Japanese, kill whoever, touches it or whatever, or they die or some shit. So I'll stop there. The pheasant thing obviously becomes pretty critical later on in the chapter. But I'll start with you, Cyber, and then I'll go to you, ladies, and then I'll go to you, Andres. Cyber, your thoughts on that opening sequence of chapter 5. What do you think, sir? What are your thoughts on that whole chapter? Have at it, sir.
So the episode starts off really strong. Mariko's husband showing up. It was very obvious that I didn't think he was done. Even, that episode where he was leading the people away. I didn't think he was dead. And, they, I just didn't think he was dead. I didn't feel he was dead. I knew that after her and, Blackthorn procreating, something was going to happen that was going to cause that to, something like that was going to pop back up, something from the past or whatever. So that was very obvious that was going to happen, because that's actually something that happened very similar in the original Shogun miniseries back in 1980 as well. The same type of thing happened where the main character, Richard Chamberlain, and the Japanese girl, they end up, being intimate, and then somebody from her past comes back that causes them to be ripped, basically. So that was very obvious that was going to happen. So I wasn't shocked when I saw him pop up. I was kind of crack up going like, I'm like, oh, there's Mariko's husband. Oh, great. Let's see what happens here. And, basically Toranaga and his son's kind of little conversation there at the beginning was very simplistic. I thought there was going to be more to it, like him yelling, but him like kind of just talking to him and saying, well, you screwed up, so I'm taking this away. That's the end of it. There was like really nothing there. Like Toranaga, he didn't feel like he was like super upset. He didn't feel like he was like gonna rip his head off type of deal, make him kill himself or something like that. But definitely I thought that it was a very calming moment, which I thought was really shocking after what the son did. And so like the episode starts off real strong with that. The husband returning, Toranaga talking to his son, stripping him of his command, and leading up to kind of the husband going to be living with Anjin, or aka Blackthorn. And what I was kind of thinking to myself too, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that was not smart, Toranaga. That's not smart at all. Not smart at all. And I'm like, are you trying to cause something to happen here? Like, are you trying to get things off of you, maybe onto something else, And that was kind of my thought process a little bit there, thinking, oh, maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe this is kind of a ploy for him. Maybe this is to try to like focus on the white guy more, so that they'll focus on him and won't be coming after him as bad. So I think that was very interesting how they did that. And of course everyone's kind of like, oh crap, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. But definitely the gardener guy being like upset about having to pick up all the dead bodies. I mean, if I was a gardener, I wouldn't want to be picking up dead bodies. I understand. No. I would understand that. I would understand being upset about that. And then the whole pheasant thing cracked me up. I'm like, why the hell would you do that? Like,
yeah,
it's like I just don't get. I don't.
They still do it to this day. It's still.
I don't get.
Really? So it is an actual thing.
They still do it to this day.
Yeah, it is an actual thing. Yeah. Their thought process over in Japan sometimes, I'm just like, wow. And so like this whole, the whole process of kind of how, giving you kind of this history lesson of how Japan was back in the late 15 early 1600s. You're kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't want to been there. No, I feel bad for Blackthorn, really bad for Blackthorn.
This would be on the Brits, because this is something he brought from Britain that they still do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do. They
Anyways.
to toughen the meat and to like improve the flavor, right? They let the meat sit for a full week or whatnot, and then they butcher it and cook it.
Yeah, so it doesn't like rot? Wasn't that what it was? It was rotting though, wasn't it?
Yes,
and
it does rot.
Everybody got mad with all the flies and yeah.
but it might have something to do probably with the fact that it's a different kind of humidity and whatnot, everything different climate there than where Blackthorn's from. He didn't think about that.
Oh, I didn't.
Go ahead, Cyber.
But anyways, yeah. So some of the ideas, the things they did. I mean, that you know what, to tenderize the meat like that is very similar to like doing a dry rub on something and letting it sit to ferment in like a cooler or something that we do today. So it's not that crazy of a thing to do, but at the same time, it's just kind of like in Japan doing this. I feel that was just stupid because it's not the same as if you were doing it over Britain. But anyways, right. I thought that was kind of funny how they made this kind of a big plot point, which ended up playing out later on in the episode, which, you know, then I kind of got it like, oh, okay, I get it now. But anyways, very solid start to the episode, really fun, really engaging, and I mean, it pulled me in. It was really fantastic.
Okay. I'll start with you, Kim, then to you, Blair. Same thoughts, same part. The opening, I guess, like first 20% of chapter 5.
Well, it was very interesting how so that Toranaga took away the cannons. The cannons, is that right? From the
he took away the leadership or the running of the cannon regiment.
Yeah, but that whole thing like just became a mess. So that was very interesting. And of course, you know me, I was very excited about Rico and Blackthorn and their final union that finally happened that I was waiting for it to happen. And of course, it's like now they're just trying to figure out how they're like navigating like their feelings and stuff or whatever. So we've got that going on. And then of course, I like with me the whole pheasant thing. It's like I felt like it was symbolic. But I just can't really exactly put my finger on like with the whole symbol. Okay, this is my thought on it. I feel like Blackthorn knew that it was gonna rot, that the pheasant was gonna rot.
It wasn't symbolic. It was just a plot device, right?
Well, okay. Okay, I think you're using that, but better than what I was thinking. Than what I was trying to say. So what it is like, I feel like he was trying to send a message, and knowing that the pheasant was going to rot, and he was doing that intentionally.
No, he wasn't. He saw Toranaga's gesture as like one of like from his understanding of where he's at as like a high honor. Right, for him to give him that, like he found that to be like a real high quality. I guess it was a high quality pheasant, right?
Yeah, supposedly. But so, my thoughts are, I don't know. I just feel like
he's trying to gain favor with Toranaga. He wants to leave. He wants his men. He wants his shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
He sees any positive token from Toranaga, any gift as like, you know, okay, this is the bomb. You know what I mean? So he's thinking to himself, all right, I got to do this shit that like all the nines on this shit. I got to cook up like this, you know, awesome dinner or whatnot. And so he went right back to, like he said, right? You know, like my first chore when I was a boy with my father was cleaning the gate, right? Like that was my first real chore, was cleaning gate. So like that was something he felt like he could do and kind of add in his own way. You know what I mean? And chip in his own British way, you know, and that he was just following his own customs. So it wasn't supposed to be symbolic in any way. But please continue.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So okay to me, but now that you broke it down that way, so that is making some sense. But let's see here. So okay, so they had that part or whatever.
They used it as a plot device to then make it to then link it to the death of the gardener.
Okay.
That's what I was explaining earlier when I was explaining the episode, like sort of the development of the characters and of Blackthorn through the episode. That it connects to that pheasant connects to that death, and that death was on him.
Right, because he felt like he was being disrespected. So
that helps to allow him to understand where he's living better, right? And accept his role.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. That makes
in the house and all that and whatnot. He learns from it.
That's true. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. And so, okay, I'm trying to get these names and everything because let me. Okay.
You pronounce it the best you can.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So wait, okay. I don't think we even got here yet. All right. So what I thought was interesting was whenever when Marika, which was okay, so her husband shows up. And so of course everybody's thinking, okay, yeah, she's gonna be super excited, happy to see him. Well, I mean, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. She was just more like, okay, it's just
Well, yeah, she had that same antsy kind of look on her face as she always does whenever he's around.
Right. Oh yeah, we're just treating it like all this. She's all beaten up and scratched up and stuff and everything. So I thought she'd be like more attentive and everything and stuff. So to me, I don't know if it's because we know something was going on between her and Blackthorn, but that just kept catching my attention. But so I noticed that whenever she was translating for Buntaro and for Blackthorn, it's just trying to make sure that
we're not going that far yet. That's way later. We're just doing if that's all you have up until that point, to stop there, and I'll go to Blair. We're only doing up until the part where essentially Blackthorn does the physical deal and all that and whatnot with his household, and then stopping right there. So we're not into the part where Toranaga or where what's his name, the husband, are really a part of the deal yet. So I'll go to you, Blair. What were your thoughts on the opening? Right? What were your thoughts on what was left of the bodies and whatnot, and everything, and the guy bitching about having to pick up the nasty dead bodies and all that? What did you think of Toranaga popping up with his army and then diminishing his son? Their dynamic.
You know, it's pretty interesting because like I'm usually not into stuff that's kind of like that gory. However, this series kind of gives me a different perspective where it's like I kind of like, I wouldn't say embrace it more, or just kind of like I feel like it's I feel like it's a little more necessary. Does that make sense? Because it paints a more picture of like a historical picture of what happened and what things looked like and how deadly these things were, and how the gardener just kind of felt like frustrated having. And I was kind of surprised that he felt like it was like more of an inconvenience and being like, holy shit, look at all these dead people and these bodies that eviscerated, you know. And that was like my initial thought with that. And then here comes this army coming across, and it's Buntaro on a horse, and then I'm feeling like either Blackthorn or Marika, both of them probably about to shit themselves because her husband's still alive. And she doesn't look very thrilled. No, they literally just did the deed. So I kind of feel like that she was probably kind of looking as an inconvenience that he was alive still.
Well, time has passed. You got to take it into consideration that they don't show it on screen or put any lettering up. But like in the time that Toranaga's been gone, it's been weeks.
That's true. That makes sense too. You have a different time. Yeah, I guess I have a different time, like a concept of time back then too. So that makes sense. And so,
go ahead.
Yeah, so like, you know, I thought I had whenever they had him Buntaro staying with him with Blackthorn, I kind of felt like that was a little bit, that kind of seems strategic in a sense, because you didn't have to say and keep your friends close to your enemies closer.
That's what I was thinking.
And that way you kind of keep it because I think that was
Toranaga is always one step ahead of everything. That's his whole deal.
Yeah. Now we can probably just kind of keep his eye on everyone. So, like,
that's actually a good point. I never thought about it that maybe he did it strategically.
I think so too. That's kind of what I was thinking, because kind of like that. If you think about it, it's kind of almost like a tale as old as time. So it's kind of like,
I mean, he has a spy and everything and whatnot, right? That we saw in that opening sequence that's watching everything in the village and all that shit and whatnot. That's a small house with those paper thin walls or whatever, made out of paper and shit or whatever they are, right? Like, what's her name? Well, like, what's her name knows that they're fucking, right? What's her name? Jeez, where's my care? Oh, there it is. There's my crib sheet. Fuji.
Yes, that's right.
Fuji.
Yes.
I and my bad on that. I've been mispronouncing her name in the chat. It's not, I've been calling her the other chick, Ochiba Nokata, but that's the mother of the former Dynamo son. Fuji is the one that like didn't like the pheasant.
Right.
So, do you have anything else, Blair?
I'm trying to think. Well, I kind of got kicked out of part whenever they were getting drunk off that fermented drink they had, And then all
That was a Saki.
the Saki. Yes, the
Wait
Saki.
till later. Wait till later. Andres,
Okay.
your thoughts on that section of the episode, sir?
Sure. Well, I mean, first off, I did agree with the girls here about the or Cyber, I guess, about the punishment to knock the son. It was like very chill. It's like, son, I'm disappointing you. Stop calling me father. Call me Lord. Like I'm not representing it right. What I see what's going.
Call me Bat Lord.
Yeah, Bat Lord. Yeah, call me Bat Lord, son. And also, fuck you, what you did to me this morning, sir. Anyway, I mean, it's something more powerful than what I'm saying. I mean, come on, like he just like, oh, I'm your father. Listen to me, you know. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay, you know, went on, and I was kind of laughing so hard when he told his right hand man that his nephew is going to take over the command over his son. So that was funny. Anyway, what else?
Well, Yoga Shibi is playing both sides of the fence and shit and whatnot, and Toranaga knows it.
Yeah, and he likes that. I think I think that's why he was like, don't punish him, give him a medal. I think that was the E3 part. I think because I think he's like his son is not getting the point about the game that he's playing or like what everyone is doing in Japan. Like it's almost like this long, like Game of Thrones level game. You know, if you watch that show, it's literally like that. Like everyone's playing both sides, you know, to benefit each other. You know, and I think that's why, you know, Tanaka is kind of like, you know, frustrated with his son. It's come on, dude, like take it or you know, like you know, take the ownership or something like that, or just don't do it. But whatever. So that's what happened. So that was very intriguing during the episode to see that development. And but at the same time, Mariko, a few episodes ago, mentioned that he likes to play games. You know, Taranaka. So it's this consistent thing about this character. He likes to play the long game, not the short game. So that's what he did. What else? Oh my god. Fuck me. When
See, that's that Shogun effect.
Yeah, so you know, so you know, the girls were here for us 2 weeks ago. We were talking about, you know, Miracle's husband, you know, supposedly not
Otero.
Yeah, Tadeo, thank you. You know, I was like, yeah, it's a horror movie. If you don't see the body, he is alive. And
I knew it. Yeah, I kept saying he was
Yep, you said
alive.
that. Yep.
Yeah,
And
you
you
said it
We
too.
all said it. I said it too.
yeah, we all say that. And
Yeah, I think
it was,
all of us did, huh?
and I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Oh, come on, not now!" Like it's not even been 2 episodes.
Did you think about Godzilla -1 immediately like I did?
No, that was funny. You brought that up. Yes, it was like that, but it wasn't fun as Godzilla -1, where it was like, "Oh my god, she's alive! What is it? What's that black stuff in her neck? Is she going to be a kaiju too? Is she going to be the hero for Japan?" Like, no, it's just this lame samurai that's an abuser to her, you know, to America. I'm like, wow. And so I was in shock. I was like, oh my god, he's back again. And it's like he has a little scruff, you know, he's scruffled his face. I was like, oh my god. And first off, how the hell all that army couldn't kill him? I get that there were some other people that saved him, but I just, he's just one person. How the hell you cannot kill him?
Because Toranaga said that there was like a group of Shogun that showed up and whatnot and everything and like helped him out.
Yeah, I know that, but it's just like those armies were a lot more.
There weren't armies. It was like a
you know, a group. Yeah, I mean it was a small group, but like it was at least enough to kill him. But anyway, it was just like, come on, like you can easily kill him that easy. You got swords, you got fire, you got arrows. You can shoot him. Like, like
bang 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 bang.
Yeah, man, he's dead. But no, we had to make a story about him, and you know, but at least he gave us like great funny moments in this episode. That was funny. But yeah, so overall, I enjoyed the opening. It was really great. I mean, they are very good at picking up where we left off and like just give us what we want to.
Yeah, just continuing on with the good TV.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good.
Okay, so coming off that, right? We do get somewhere. I might get things out of order here. But coming off the whole pheasant deal is when we do see Toranaga have that brief scene with Yabushigi, where Yabushigi's like, he figures out on his own that it must have been Obi and the sake drinking with Obi and whatnot that caused his son to do the cannon shit and whatnot with Josen. And he's like, I'll admonish him, like I'll discipline Omi or whatever and whatnot. And that's when like Toranaga really sticks it to him and fucks with continues to play games with Yogishigi, which again he knows that he's playing both sides, right? With Ishido, and tells him, I'm putting Omi in charge of the fucking the cannon regiment, right? Like not you, him. And Yabashigi don't like that, right? Like he ain't down with all that. He ain't really happy with his situation right now. So ladies, this will be my last question coming off this to you guys before we send you off, okay?
Yeah.
But basically coming off that conversation or that scene with Toranaga and with Yugashigi, and of course the pheasant, being held by Blackthorn, we do get scenes leading up to the dinner where we have Blackthorn and Bontero face to face, where they engage in like a sake drinking match, right? Like shot to shot shit and whatnot, or bowl of sake. And there's a scene before that I thought was very important, where you saw Fuji actually ask Mariko, "You'll let me know, right, if there's some kind of danger to the the Hamato or whatever, whatnot, wherever Toranaga gave Blackthorn that title." And Mariko just says no, just to tell him to prepare for dinner. Well, of course, dinner ends up being a shit show, right? Yep. And Bontero is talking shit to him the whole time. Although it's funny it's interesting watching Mariko parse the translation and whatnot, everything to like kind of keep things straight, so it doesn't go out of hand. But that's when Bontero decides to like pick a pole or whatever, whatnot, on the house, and then bust off 2 arrows that like literally go within like an inch of Mariko's face from the trailer. That scene, and he hits the poster or whatnot with both of them, like while he's drunk as shit, which is pretty dope. And off that, there's like sort of a shouting match, and Mariko is forced by Bontero to tell Blackthorn about her father, Lord, Okechi Jinsei, and his deeds with how he murdered Lord Karada, the previous ruler of Japan before the Taiko, and then was forced to execute her entire family up besides her before he committed seppuku and killed himself. And that she married Bontero was forced to live as atonement for her father's crime. And that he also is the reason that she's not allowed to go ahead and kill herself on the anniversary of the deaths or whatnot, everything, because he won't let her die. Right. Like he's making her stay alive. Later that night, upon learning, that Mariko has been assaulted by Bontero, like you hear a skirmish or whatever and whatnot, Blackthorn comes out and he's all pissed off and shit and whatnot, still drunk and screaming and shit. And he confronts Bontero, who like lays down his sword and gets down on his knees and bows to Blackthorn and apologizes and blames the sake for it.
Yeah, so that's
blames the Hennessy. So I'll start with either one of y'all from you ladies wants to start, and whoever wants to follow up. Your thoughts before you head out on that section of the episode or the chapter, probably taking us past the halfway point.
So I liked it because to me it's like you could see where Mariko and Blackthorn were trying to keep secrets, and like that was going on at the same time. And then also what was also going on was Blackthorn was kind of getting a sense that he was in danger and that something was going on, but he didn't know exactly what was going on. And because of the fact that Bontero was there to like stay around him. And it was just very interesting just seeing how like the tension was between them. And then it all of a sudden turned into like Bontero's making fun of Blackthorn and the way he's eating his food. And then it turns into like a drink off essentially. And then get crazy, but it's like, but what I really did find fascinating was whenever Marika was like basically forced to tell her story and about like and like who her dad was and how he was like this assassin and all these things and just like her backstory. So that was really interesting, and it just made Blackthorn just think even more. And to me, almost just kind of in a way like not really it deepened her mystery, but it just made her more fascinating to me.
Okay.
It made me profoundly sad because the fact that she was forced to survive. Because I mean, think about it. It's kind of like if the rest of your family's killed and they kept you alive intentionally. Like, how like awful is that to suffer that and that have that anguish into that and have to live through that, and how it's like that kind of punishment that was inflicted upon her. And that's why I kept focusing a lot on that. So it's kind of like that. I got very introspective about it. It's like, oh damn, it's like, that's why I thought about that a lot. So that's kind of where my focus was.
Okay, Blair.
That was me. Oh, that was Blair.
Oh, Blair, I'm sorry. Did you? I mean, Blair.
It started off with me, and then she just kind of like.
I'm sorry. Kim, if you want to continue.
Yeah. Okay. So, to me, it's like okay. Am I gonna go too far if I start talking about where she feels like they can't be friends anymore? Am I going too far?
No, go ahead.
Okay. That's when I was like, that really showed the sexual tension and where things were, because how she got upset with Blackthorn and was like basically like, we can't be friends anymore. It's gonna be strictly business. I'm only gonna be your translator. And of course I just kind of put his head in this, you know how it is whenever somebody's got that one person like on their mind in their head
or what you can't have.
Yeah, and then they get into that fight, and then it's like he's all in his head.
He's not that he has some bigger issues going on than her. He really wasn't all that concerned about that. He's more like pissed off at the situation he's in at these customs, and the way that she's acting and whatnot, how everyone's acting. He can't stand it. It's driving him crazy. Right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. That's what. Yeah,
it's not her. Yeah, he just banged her. So yeah,
but he was saying you're right, because he said he was irritated with like basically saying that he was irritated with the customs. He wanted to leave Japan like ASAP.
Well, yeah, he lives in like the Western, a Western society at that time and whatnot. So
that's right. You're right. Yeah.
Blair, do you have any thoughts besides what you mentioned earlier and whatnot, everything about this part of the episode or this chapter?
I'm trying to think about on my cold medicine brain. I would say not too much, not other than what we already mentioned.
I should have drank some fucking cold medicine, man. Fuck. Should have added that to my mix.
Lulu as hell, especially at the nighttime stuff.
All right, well, listen, y'all. Let me send you off really quick and let you plug out and whatnot, since you've got to dip out half show. We were already past an hour really quickly. Sorry if I've been a little bit over talkative, Cyber, Andres, everybody else, ladies.
No, you're good.
But here, let me pull up one of your platforms so that you can plug out, and we'll send you off.
Yeah, thank you.
So, well, whoever wants to go ahead and talk for the Pop Culture Green Room, have at it and whatnot, and tell everybody out there and whatnot, everything, where y'all coming from.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. This is our YouTube channel. It's the Pop Culture Green Room. We basically started pop culture podcast because I was in San Diego for like so many years, and she was still in Louisiana, and we're very different from each other. But yeah, the one thing we had in common was always talking about like celebrity gossip, pop culture, things
TV
like
shows, movies, things we're into.
Yeah,
news.
oh yeah. And we both have degrees in communications. Like mine's mass communications, hers organizational communications. So we've got a background in like film,
music, TV,
yeah, all those things. And we come from a family of entertainment
industry.
Yeah, people in the entertainment industry. So yeah, we just love like podcasting and everything. So you can find us on Instagram. We're at the Pop Culture Green Room. TikTok, that is the pop culture green room. We are also on YouTube, yeah,
and Spotify and Apple, wherever you get your podcasts.
There you go. And get healthy so you can come back and contribute and do some more Shogun with us.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I
Always a
know. We
pleasure,
sound
you know.
horrible.
And this time you can stay a little longer.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
know.
sure,
Yes. And now I'm gonna get my whole new work schedule all adjusted, and
It's hard to review these long episodes in an hour. But
I know.
listen, ladies, have a good night. Thank you for coming on.
All right,
you.
thank
Always a
you.
pleasure.
Y'all have a good night. Bye bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Good night.
All right. Bros before hoes now, motherfuckers. What's up? Let's get it. All right. So, Cyber, thoughts, sir, on that part of the chapter?
Refresh my memory where we're going from.
We are going up until the point where after Blackthorn confronts Montero gets down on his knees and like bows and all that shit and whatnot, and blames Nasaki for beating his wife and all that shit and whatnot. And that's when Blackthorn really starts to get pissed off before it just continues on. Right at that point is where we stopped.
Okay. So this section of the episode,
we started with where Toranaga like is playing games with Yabushiki about like his treachery and shit and whatnot, double playing the game and shit.
Yep. So this part is really fun, especially when Toranaga is like kind of double talking Yabashiga, and and he keeps like saying no, I'm on your side, I'm on your side type of deal. And Toranaga is basically like, how do I know you're not trying to play me and play the other side, sir? You should go to, I heard that you had to go back to Osaka and pledge your allegiance to blah blah blah. And he's like, and he's like, what are you gonna do? He's like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm loyal to you. I'm loyal to you. And basically, you could just see Yabashigi basically like his whole plan kind of just folding. And basically Toranaga, I love how he like says, "Oh, so I'm going to give your son the reins of the commanding army," and he's kind of our nephew, and he's like, "Huh?" He's kind of like thinking of something like, "Oh, okay." Like, what's going on here? Like, at first he's like saying I'm doing this, but then he's giving this and blah blah blah. Like you can see Yabashigi is very confused. So when he ends up going and raiding his nephew's place, basically, and saying, "Hey, you idiot! Like, why'd you do that? Why'd you get Toranaga's son drunk and say, let's do this? You totally screwed us both." And the nephew's kind of like, "Oh, okay," kind of like, okay, and that was great. And then basically go from there. Basically Blackthorn, being kind of reintroduced to Mariko's husband. They have their dinner together. He's all dressed up formal. He's got his samurai swords that was given to him by his consort and Fuji. And basically they get to drinking sake and stuff, and Mariko's husband keeps trying to like outdo Blackthorn and stuff like that. And so Blackthorn finally is like, "Here, this is how you really drink sake, like we do over in England, this is how we drink." And they have basically kind of their drinking match, and then he shoots arrows right next to Mariko's face at the post. And he's like, but you can see Blackthorn's very concerned about this, like, move. He's like, move, and also during this, this portion, there's a lot of things that Blackthorn, he's kind of like trying to, say to Mariko how this is not right. This is not how women are treated over in Britain. And, like say that this is not how real life should be, or this is how you should be treated. You should be given more respect, And it's like every time it's like Blackthorn, it's like you kind of just want to go Blackthorn, just fucking spill it out, bro. Like don't say it in some kind of weird code or some shit. Just say it right out, like, you dumb bitch. Like, hello, this is not how you're supposed to be treated, And
for real,
like,
nobody can understand what he says anyway.
I know, and it's just like it's like, wow, like I would not want to have been a woman in feudal Japan in the late 1500s, early 1600s. I mean, or even, even a man over Japan during that time frame, because it's like, you say one wrong thing, gotta kill yourself. Like, Blackthorn keeps, you can see him keep thinking like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Like, why do you keep killing yourself for no apparently good reason, And so like we get to see that kind of in the sequence here too, as well, with Mariko's husband. And then of course, after their drinking match, they go to sleep, and all of a sudden Blackthorn gets waken up by them arguing, and that little wussy of a whip, they go out there, and he like falls down on his knees and takes his slippers off and puts out his swords, and just kind of like, no, you live with your shame, motherfucker.
I thought he was gonna fight him. Didn't you?
Well, yeah.
I thought he was taking off his swords to fight him. I thought he was taking his swords off to fight him.
I thought he was just gonna shoot him, because that's what I would have done.
No, didn't you think Montero was gonna fight him? No. Like one-on-one him or whatever, whatnot? I thought he was taking his swords off to scrap him.
No, I didn't know what the hell he was doing, because he was drunk.
They don't scrap. They don't scrap in this time in Japan, in this period of Japan. They don't fight with their fists and shit and whatnot. It's samurai shit or nothing.
Yeah, I know. And so like, when he basically ends up calling a piece of shit and walk away, I was just like, yes, Blackthorn. Oh yeah, Blackthorn, you're the man, bro. But yeah, great section of the episode. Just really makes you, like wonder what the hell Japan was thinking. I mean, even up till the early 1900s, they, women were still treated like crap there. So, it's too bad, that
women are still treated like crap at times over there, here and there.
Yeah, I mean, all over the world still,
everywhere,
but,
yeah.
But anyways, the point being is that I'm saying at this point we're talking about Japan's thing, and it being there during this time frame would have been idiotic, I felt. So, poor Blackthorn, I have pity for him.
Okay. Mr. Andres, the pop culture guy, who I've decided to stick at the end of the panel to round out these questions. Have at it, sir. Fuck you. Here you go, brother. I can do that too. How about that?
I can do that too. Anyway.
Yeah. What I do, if I ever do that to somebody, it'll be a lot more effective than if you do it.
Anyway, no, it'll be more effective by me, sir, because I'm a time travel person, so you will never see me coming. Anyway, yeah, so this part of section was really funny. This was my favorite part about episode 5. I mean, the pissy contest with Blackbeard versus Mariko's husband was hilarious. I mean, just the fact that they like he just throws up, food out of the plate and put the drink was so funny. And then he did it too again. Did the same with Mariko's husband, and that was really funny. So I really loved that scene.
It was like some Roadhouse shit. They were doing shot to shot.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really great. That was really funny. But then it got really intense, when, I said, Mariko's husband was just so drunk. Like, he's trying to prove himself, he shot the arrow twice, like, out of the face of Mariko. And then, of course, Blackbeard is very gentleman himself, and he's like, move, it's like crazy. And man, this part was really great for me because of the character development for Mariko, like getting to know more about her situation, what was really her family history. Because one of the things that's very interesting, if you really you study historic things or culture, it's always about the family, like lineage or like the family hierarchy of Japan, like how they operate. There's certain rules or like certain like trades or traditions that cultures, families are different from America. And so it was very interesting to hear like Mariko's family history, that she's in the family of assassin, you know, and I was like, oh really? So that makes a lot of sense how she could fight, you know, and the fact that she has to be alive and be forced to, you know, not to get killed, it's kind of like, wow, really dick move. And then I was expecting the light beaming. I was like, what? Crazy. And yeah, I'm very surprised that like Blackthorn was able to be like very conscious to hear that, like the fact that he drank so much.
You're telling me you were surprised that Montero will put his hands on fucking Rico?
No, not really. I was kind of surprised he just did it right away after being survived from his battle, whatever, you know, having the army he got killed. He killed. Anyway, so no, I was surprised.
It was the sake.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I was surprised that Blackbeard was able to wake up with so many drinks he had that night. But I agree with you, Jeff. I thought he was gonna fight him with the sword, but then all of a sudden, you know, he just put the sword down. I was like, what's going on here? And then I had to remember that house isn't Marco or his house.
Mm-hmm.
That's you know Blackthorn's house.
It is.
You know, that's his residence because that was ordered by Tanaka, so it made a lot of sense. I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense, especially with the whole bird situation. Thing made a lot of sense because that's his house, you know, because he has his position. I forgot his position, but that he's a high ranking with Tanaka, so it makes sense. So
he's almost like an advisor, but he has a title.
Yeah, exactly. That was the starting point. Jeff was the the Marco talking to Blackthorn in that like very beautiful, I guess waterfall or whatever you want to call it, or the woods. They were talking about him telling her not to feel bad or like put yourself down and be a prisoner of these things, and of course. It's very normal, but Blackthorn had to understand that culture and tradition is very different for them. They have to follow like a strict thing because that's how they operate. That's unfortunate. And as you say, Jeff, it's still happening to this day. I mean, it's somewhat different now, but it's still the same. It's just like
Japanese women are very much more independent and whatnot. Everything, and I mean, look at Band-Aid, right? Like, I mean, look at all these like all female metal and rock bands over there and whatnot, how popular they are, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like not like the 80s, like there were always female singers, but I never saw like a female band for like Japan. So that was like a rare thing from the 80s and 90s.
The women over there actually are pretty strict about what they expect from even like Western men, like guys like us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you don't acquiesce with some of their like cultural stuff or whatever, whatnot, everything, they don't want nothing to do with you.
Wow, that's crazy. And speaking of that, that scene when Mariko was talking to Blackthorn about keeping the relationship professional and just the translator. The snow, the little bit of snow coming down, like that scene looks really beautiful. The cinematography there was really my favorite part of this. That's this episode. Like that shot was really beautiful. Like the snow, like I guess the snow is like falling down. Like as we know, it's winter. If you haven't paid attention, there's a lot of snow coming in the house. Like particularly later in the episode when Blackthorn finds out about what happened to the governor and all that. But yeah, so overall, this was my section that I really liked about this episode 5. Like this is
good job, Andre's Time Lord, Time Cop, Bat Lord. Good job bouncing off of Kim and Blair and skipping ahead of my outline, and bouncing off of them doing it, and then furthering it and continuing by doing it, and even going even farther than them at the end there.
How about this?
I thought you actually weren't going to do it.
I will follow them, not you, sir. No offense. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Let me wrap up very quickly. Great. This is my favorite part of the episode. It's one of my personal favorites, and I don't like the ending. It was kind of weak, but we'll get to that. So, bye-bye.
Now, how did the ending somehow become a part of that contribution, Cyber? What the fuck happened right there? Wasn't that weird?
It's Time Cop here. He likes to jump ahead because we all know he likes to travel.
He was done. Right, and then he all of a sudden like rejoined or whatever, whatnot, like the fucking shit.
Yeah, he just got too giddy and excited.
Just to like continue it even farther, he had to like mention the end of the episode too.
I think that he was thinking too much about Angela Bassett and her big black feet and him rubbing them and putting cream all over him or something. I don't know. You know, maybe he was creaming his pants. I have no idea.
Art, come here, big black titties.
You guys are funny. You're funny. You know that.
Anyways, so back to Shogun, chapter 5. So after which time I'll give you a chance to talk about this discussion with Mariko and Blackfoot that everybody else has talked about already, but you. Thank you, sir, for staying within the parameters of the outline of the show. Next day, after a long discussion with Mariko that I was just talking about, that's when Blackthorn returns home to discover that Yujiro, the gardener, who he had like the really cool moment with about the rock earlier, right? Where like, Yujiro told him like, a garden's not a garden without a good rock or whatever the fuck. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I guess a rock is important or whatever, but whatever. Blackthorn had like a relationship with him or whatever, got along with him. So, when Blackthorn shows up home, he finds out that the house gardener, Yujiro, took the fence down. And because of that, Fuji had to kill him. Because of his like misspeak earlier when he said like that person die or whatever, or be killed or whatever, whatnot, if they touch the pheasant. I believe it was literally Fuji that killed him, right? Like as his consort, and so like Blackthorn's all pissed off and even more pissed off now because of that, right? And feels like responsible because he is ultimately for that guy's death. And now Fuji's all pissed off and like depressed and shit and whatnot, right? Because she's like trying to do a good job being like Blackthorn's consort this whole time, handling his business and shit, handling her business. And so she's like, oh, well, kill me then, right? Like, and all that. And like Blackfoot's like, nah, fuck that. And just takes off. He doesn't give it on that. So, but Fuji was like, yeah, kill me or whatever. Bob been wanting to be dead and like kill themselves and shit and whatnot. I'm waiting for Blackthorn to seppuku himself here at some point for some reason. So at that point, Blackthorn is all fucked up at this point. That's when we go to Mariko and Toranaga back in the picture, them talking and Blackfoot showing up and basically telling Mariko to tell Toranaga that as far as he's concerned, he's trained his regiment and fulfilled his part of the agreement with him. He wants his ship and his crew and wants to leave. He wants out of Japan. He's tired of this shit over their customs. And basically, Toranaga says, "Is this about what happened today or whatever, whatnot?" Like you like tell Blackfoot he needs to grow up, essentially, right? Like or whatever. And basically, we find out at that point that they've been looking. Yoshiki and Omi have been looking for a spy this whole time. That's been Toranaga's spy. That's been getting information out, whatnot, to Toranaga about what's going on there. And we know who the spy is. We talked about it earlier in the chapter, earlier in the show. At that point, we get a scene, towards the end of the chapter where, and Blackthorn, I believe, it finds this out from Toranaga that it ends up being a good death for him for whatever reason, right? Like it's a better death than he would have had or something like that or whatever. You guys can illuminate with me on that and whatnot as to what the reasoning was for that. But that's what Toranaga tells him, right? Or tells, Mariko. And that's when they have the earthquake, right? And they have a massive earthquake and basically Toranaga gets sucked up in the earth. And Blackthorn and Toranaga's son and a bunch of dudes take off to go and like to unbury Toranaga because he's been buried alive, right, in this chasm in the earth that split up, so it split wide open. They save his life, actually Blackfoot does, and when Toranaga can't find his swords, right, to wear, because I mean, like, he's being as someone as high esteemed as him, you wear your swords as a part of your shit or whatever, whatnot, right? You don't lose your swords. So they're all digging them up And that's when Blackfoot offers him the swords he has that he's already been told by Mariko earlier were garbage. Like the ones that Fuji gave him in episode 4 or chapter 4, they weren't really like some really great swords or whatnot that were from an honored father or whatever whatnot. They were some ones that they got from like the fucking the pawn shop for like a bag of rice or some shit. She said 3 bags of rice or whatever whatnot. And they lied to Fuji. So, Cyber, you there, brother? Did you freeze? Oh, there you are. I didn't know. I wasn't sure because Andres went blackface. So, so at that point, everyone knows that. They already discussed that. You know, Mariko told Blackfoot, we just don't tell her the truth. So it's kind of funny. Like, it's funny because Lord Ishii, you know, Toranaga laughs a little bit and whatnot when, like, he gets the swords from Blackfoot, but he takes them and thanks him for them, right? And you see their relationship kind of grow from there, strengthen. And at that point, you go and see and look, and the earthquake has devastated the village. It's devastated Toranaga's army. To what degree, I don't really know yet. If you guys saw anything else more than I did, I really couldn't tell the effect that it took on his army. It looked like it impacted them. It impacted the village. Blackfoot takes off and goes to his house to check on Fuji. Fuji's injured but alive. And they touch hands or hold hands briefly, which I thought was very touching. And I think I'll stop there and then leave one little last section for the end for one last question. I'll start with you this time, Andres. What are your thoughts on that passage of the episode, sir?
Yeah, so this one was very interesting. I mean, I guess I was very surprised about the swords being very funny. And I think that everyone knows about that. So I like how that paid off very well when, you know, Tanaka was laughing and, you know, saying they get to Blackthorn about that sword. So that was good payoff. I actually appreciate that, you know, the show is very accurate on how Japan is in terms of nature, you know, because they do get earthquakes. And so I really appreciate, you know, from the series, we had built up, you know, the earthquakes. Because I think first time we got it, I think was episode 4 or 3. I think
4, when we had the tremor.
Yes, right. Because it was a little tremor. Because, no, I think because, was it Blackthorn say baby earthquake? And that was cracked me up from the previous episode. But yeah, so I was kind of confused because I thought it was water coming towards, you know, the village because of the earthquake. It was like all the mud and grass kind of coming through, I think, the village or somewhat in the earthquake. Because it was a very powerful earthquake. Like, it just collapsed so much of the mountains and the woods. So it was very powerful. And yeah, I don't know if they're going to address that next episode, but hopefully we do, you know. We'll see. And then, yeah, I was very happy that Fuji survived because I was worried. I was like, don't kill Fuji yet. I mean, like, it'll be a shame to kill her off this way. But no, she survived. And I like the touch of him pulling the rock up because that was how the Guardian did. And so that was really cool, like, you know, payoff that, you know, of that. So, you know, getting used to with the customs, you know, and I'm with Blackthorn. I mean, like, look, he's not used to this, like, bizarre tradition and, you know, this whole culture thing. It's just so out of whack, you know, and, you know, I can understand he wants to get out of here so quickly. It's just so bad. What else? That was intriguing. I was kind of surprised we didn't get back to his, Mariko's husband. Where is he? He's gone. He went out in the wilderness and he's going to join the bad side, dark side, or what? What's going on with him? I was very curious about that. The spy thing. The spy thing was very funny. It's kind of funny now. The spy blamed the Guardian that will work with Blackthorn as the spy.
Yeah.
So that was very funny. And I wonder if those two, you know, those two will realize that that was probably a fake out and realize that that's the spy. But we'll see. But yeah, so it was very funny they did that. I tried to grasp my memories with this sequence because I just felt like it was kind of like anticlimactic. This was my least favorite of the episode. I kind of wish we may have something else more.
Do you think there's enough time in the series for Blackthorn to bang Fuji?
Oh, okay. Now that considering
it's doable, right?
Yeah, it's doable. I mean, we have what? This is episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 more episodes. I think you could do it, presumably. But the thing is, they're going to just stick with the Miracle and Blackthorn relation.
I know.
You know, I feel like they're going to do that anyway. But I will say, the Fuji in the Blackthorn relation will be more stronger. Like, she will be a great, like, psychic command for him.
That's a good point. They have a different relationship. Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like their relationship is going to be more closer now because of the earthquake, because that little touch of their hand, like, you know, he did worry about her.
Yes.
So
you definitely saw on Fuji's face that she was like touched or whatever, whatnot, everything by Blackfoot.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So I think the relationship, you know, Blackfoot and you know, Fuji is a little bit stronger now. So I think that could work. And by the way, great special effects. I think the earthquake looked nice, really good. It like was really spectacular. It was really impressive, and I was surprised that they got Tanaka out of that dirt. I was like, oh my god, quickly, because it's like you'd be killed with that debris, you know, with the grass and mud and all that. But yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed this section. It was really not my favorite. I mean, it was a little like okay. You know, but I still enjoy it, but it's not my favorite for episode 5.
Cyberneticshark, sir.
So this section of the episode, you know, you get more in depth with Blackthorn. You know, you have that moment where he goes looking for Mariko. And she basically tells him that the only time we'll speak to each other is when I'm translating for you. And I'm just like, they have that conversation there, and he basically tried to tell her that, you know, you have more rights than this. And you're just like you know, you just got beaten by your husband, which you shouldn't have. And it's like, I'm trying to tell you here, you have more rights than you know. And it just it angered me. And I'm just like, are you that stupid, Mariko? I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you need to be slapped again, because I think the slap from your husband screwed you in the head. And you're just kind of like, Jesus Christ, like, Blackthorn's trying to help you here, and you're just going to, like, diss him like that? I was like, oh, that's stupid. But then when they go and you know, he has the whole issue with, you know, finding out the gardener died and stuff like that, you know, you just like, basically it's just like finally it's kind of like that boiling point he finally hits. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. This is stupid. These people are absolutely insane and dumb. Like, why do they think that this is right and all this kind of stuff? And like, why is this their thinking? And it's like, it's so different than his culture from Britain. So it's just kind of like, it's very you know, disconcerting, it makes you very angry. And that's kind of, you know, how you see there after he starts yelling at everyone to get away. You know, after, you know, Fuji basically, you know, says that, you know, she's the one that killed the gardener. But as we find out, you know, a little bit later, a little more about the gardener, that'll come into play. But, you know, once he goes and sees Toranaga and Mariko's there, and he's basically saying, I feel I fulfilled my duty. And like Toranaga's like, I don't have time for this like baby crying shit. I was just kind of cracking up, like, seriously, Toranaga? Like, you're one to talk. Like, dude, this whole thing you're doing is you could consider a baby cry too yourself, how you're trying to keep yourself from being, you know, disbarred basically from the society. So that's like, dude, like, take a chill pill. And then the earthquake happening. That was freaking awesome. I thought they did a good job of making that look very realistic and like how it would work, and especially over Japan. And, you know, watching Toranaga fall over that side, I was like, holy shit, did they just kill off Toranaga? I'm like, nah, they can't have killed him off. No. But then they go searching for him, and they end up pulling him out of the rubble. It was like super awesome because like how quickly they were able to find him, and his look on his face when he sees that, you know, Blackthorn's there helping, and you just like he's like seems so like shocked, you know, and just once again kind of reaffirming that there is this bond that's being created between Blackthorn and Toranaga, and that there is more of a mutual respect for each other there every time something happens. And you feel that in this sequence here. And, you know, him giving him his swords and stuff like that, and he says, thank you. You're just kind of like, holy shit. Toranaga, a lord, just said thank you to you, sir. That's pretty badass. And so, like, that scene was really great. I thought that whole section was really fun. I mean, and then him, like, Blackthorn running back to see, you know, what else has happened, destruction across the land, finding, you know, Fuji messed up and under the rubble and stuff like that a little bit. You're kind of like, you can see that you can see Blackthorn truly has compassion. You can see that he has feelings for a lot of these people. Like, he really does. He's come to appreciate them and like them and feel like they're like a part. He's like a part of their society or family. And I think that this episode did a good job of really kind of giving you an idea of how much Blackthorn has progressed since the first episode. You know, being captured and being that grubby looking sailor captain guy and stuff like that, and how he truly has found some sort of like goodness about what's happening to him, even though he wants to go back home to Britain. He still has found something that is intriguing him and wanting him to grow as a person. And I think that's, you know, what you really get out of kind of that section of this episode, is that you can see the growth of all the characters throughout the series up to this 5th episode point, which is pretty much the halfway point of the series. So, you know, we still got 5 more episodes to go. So, I mean, after this, it's just going to keep going. But solid section of the episode, and really enjoyed it.
Trailer time. Smoke them if you got them.
Do not be fooled by our politeness. Our bows are made of rituals. Death is in our air. And sea and earth. Just remember. We live and we die. We control nothing beyond that.
There's a saying out here, every man has 3 hearts. One in his mouth for the world to know. Another in his chest, just for his friends. And a secret heart, buried deep, where no one can find it. What kind of man wields power in a land like this? The one with the open, or the one you never see? Will I die here? Likely.
War is coming.
Life and death are the same. Both can have value and purpose.
This is not where we die. We should be corpses, I know. But here we are. My life is mine and yours is yours. If you can't see that, you'll never be free of this prison.
It is you who is imprisoned. Freedom is all you ever live for.
己の務めを果たす覚悟はできておるか。
覚悟はできておりまする。
There you go. That's a great fucking trailer. What do you think about that, Cyber? What do you think about that trailer now, five episodes in?
Still a solid trailer. Still very well done. I mean, I nothing has changed for me about the trailer. I always thought the trailer was really fantastic, so I think it's still a really solid trailer.
Andres, you like that trailer?
Yes, I do. I enjoyed the trailer. Still great, but nothing changes.
Yeah, I like the music. The score on this on the show has been really great. It's been something else. I mean, again, we could go on and on about the production value and whatnot, everything on the series. But to wrap up chapter 5, as we already mentioned and talked about, after Blackthorn does have that moment with Fuji where he sees the carnage left over from the earthquake on the village, we do get the following day Muraji leading Yabushiki and Omi to Yujiro's hut and managing to convince them that he was the spy they were searching for. And then in Osaka, the remaining regents debate on who will take over Toranaga's place in the council, which they already did at the beginning of the episode as well. I didn't mention it at all. They already went ahead and did that a little bit. Ochiba finally arrives. That is the Taiko's son's mother, the consort. That was the Taiko's consort, not his wife, his consort. Finally arrives and reunites with Yachio, her son, and tells Ashido essentially that from now on the council is just going to do what she says, right? Like that's how it's going to be, and that's how we close out. Right, we'll end things there with ratings too off that, and then we'll do ratings like mid-season ratings and mid-season thoughts. Since this is chapter 5, as Cyber said, I'll start with you this time, Cyber. Your rating, your thoughts overall of the episode, that final segment of the episode, that final little portion I just dropped, and then I'll go over to you, Andres.
The conclusion of this episode is pretty basic. I thought. I mean, it's a great way to end the episode after that tragic earthquake that has hit Japan and the part of Japan they're in. And it's pretty forthcoming as to where it's going, especially, with, that the future king or future whatever you want to call him, mother being returned and her basically saying that she's taken over. You're kind of like, holy shit, where's this going to go? And, especially after seeing so many women that are so submissive, and seeing a woman that's more dominant can be interesting to see just where that goes too as well, during this time frame. So that's gonna be interesting to see what she does. And I think it's done really well. Overall, I think it was a really fantastic episode, another strong episode. I was blown away by it, loved it, thought it was amazing, great episode, solid episode. I nothing about it was horrible, nothing about it I didn't like. I thought it was really fantastic. So I have to give this episode a 10 as well. And for my mid-season rating, I have to give it a solid 10 as well.
I was going to give you time on that one, or whatever, and come back to you on that. But okay, Andres, same set of questions, sir. And if you could do your mid-season grade as well, and add whatever detail you want on like the first 5 chapters. Have at it.
Sure. So for this episode, I'll definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I think this was a good episode. It's not my favorite of the 4 episodes we got in, but it's still a strong and consistent episode for the show. The show is excellent. Nothing has dropped the ball. They've been very just on point, and I've been enjoying it. So this episode is 9 out of 10. The midpoint, I will give it. I'll definitely give it a 9.5 out of 10. I really love this series. I'm so happy that I'm watching it. It's been very engrossing. I'm a big history buff, and so I really enjoyed seeing this part of the of Japan we don't really see sometimes, or maybe not depicted in the right way. I think the show has done a really good job of showing that side of Japan really great. Every actor is point out. I'm so happy for the Tanaka actor being the lead here. He's such a fantastic actor. If you haven't seen his films like
And he was heavily involved in the production of the show too.
Yeah, and he's the best. Yeah, exactly. He's a executive producer. If you pay attention to the credits, he's great in John Wick Chapter 4. He was in the Wolverine. He was great in that. He was in The Last Samurai, the Tom Cruise film. The other film, The Twilight Samurai, that he stars in, really great. Check that out. He's an amazing actor. I'm very happy that he is actually getting to be shining as an actor. He's so great. And I'm so happy because like Endgame just wasted him. I don't know why. Like he could have been a great character for a long term for MCU, but whatever. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that he's getting shine here. That's my favorite part about this show. But yeah, I am excited to continue on for four more episodes. Very curious how they're going to end it. Hopefully, Miracle and Blackthorn could be together and just forget about their pettiness and just love each other. That's all. If not, just go with Fuji. Fuji is very good. So,
I know if it was if Blackfoot was smart, I would have pillowed with both of them, right? Like seriously, I would have pillowed them both.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been smarter to just kill the husband. Like I was just shocked that he didn't took the opportunity to just take the husband away. I mean, he was being very rude and abuser, but we'll see. Maybe he will die. You know what? I'll bet next episode he died in the earthquake, and then
Blackthorn is not a killer. Remember?
I know. But anyway, I'm saying that husband died in the earthquake, so that's my bet. Next episode we'll see him.
Whatever. I'm sure they're gonna end up doing some kind of thing where like, Montero is gonna save Blackthorn's life or some shit in the war or something like that or whatever, whatnot, right? And they're gonna like not be friends, but like get along at that point and all that shit or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Or they're gonna blow each other or something. No, this isn't Disney Plus. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's still owned by Disney.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that was a good one.
So maybe they might blow each other at the end. Who knows? Could happen.
Yeah, it could happen. Oh my god. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the series. So far, I'm loving the show. I mean, it's very funny that Cyber brought that up. Yeah, Hulu is owned by Disney. Since
I know.
Five years.
FX isn't owned by Disney.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No. FX is owned by Disney.
It is.
Yeah, because FX is an extension of Fox, the 20th Century Fox.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. It's a piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a piece. So, like the deal, like just very quickly.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right. My rating on the episode is going to be, or the chapter is going to be a 9.75, and I want to change my rating from chapter 4 to a 10. I think I gave it a 9. I want to give it. I want to go back and add a point to a 10, because I went back and watched it again, and it was really good. So, and that's as far as the mid-season grade goes. It's a 10. This is the best series I've seen, maybe ever. We've ever covered on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. And we're 5 parts in, 5 chapters in, so there's still half a season to see what's going to happen. But it just keeps getting better and better. So, like, this is one situation where I'm really sad that this is a limited series. I really am. Because, like, this is so high level. When we cover these shows, the time just flies by so quick, right? And we watch all this other content. We watch all these other shows. We're reviewing 4 different TV shows at the same time right now or whatever, all this shit. So it's like, it's hard to kind of individualize what you're experiencing right now with Shogun. But Kim or Blair, whoever made a good point earlier, you can't find a bad review on this show. Right? Even the Critical Drinker already made a video about this show. And he doesn't even usually cover TV. So there you go. It's that good. And there's no bullshit in it. It's all like just pure entertainment, pure good television. Does anybody have any final thoughts before we get into plugs and get out of here? Cyber, Andres?
If you haven't watched it yet, you're a dumbass. Go watch it now.
Yeah, like first off, we're gonna have less. I mean, we're getting content, but we're gonna have like.
Our Black was gonna blow you.
Yeah.
Per Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus or Disney in general, Walt Disney Company. Yeah, or Walt Disney himself, because he could be a ghost. The same. Anyway, yeah, I love the show. Please watch it. It's probably my favorite of 2024 in terms of original. Like, I mean, like just television adapted and original kind of content we've gotten so far. I mean, because we're gonna get a lot in April to June. Like, we're gonna get Game of Thrones. I mean, House of Dragon again. You know, we're getting Star Wars shows, and it's gonna be too much. But right now, I've been enjoying The Walking Dead, and X-Men 97 is hitting the ball really great. Today I saw the episode 3 is amazing, and this show is like #1 for me so far in terms of quality for 2024 shows. So it's good. Please watch it.
All right, folks. That is the end of our Shogun Chapter 5 recap review. We're going to plug out of here. I'm going to start off with Cyberneticshark, our veteran content creator, YouTuber, co-host of the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. Cyberneticshark, sir, what is going on over at the Cyberneticshark universe, at least on YouTube?
All right, folks, if you like me here on the panel, if you enjoy me as a moderator on the Bleeding Edge, do have to go check out my solo content under Cyberneticshark. Find me on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, all that great places. Check that shit out. Anyways, my most recent trailer reaction is for The Strangers Chapter 1, which is coming out, I believe, in May. And it will have 2 other parts to it as well. All 3 are launching this year, so keep your eyes out for these 3 films. It is a trilogy being directed by Rennie Harlin. Rennie Harlin, you might recognize as the director, of course, of Die Hard 2. You might recognize as Cliffhanger director, Deep Blue Sea, several things over the years. But yeah, The Strangers looks like Chapter 1 looks like it's going to be a pretty fun film. If you haven't seen that trailer, definitely check out, or you can check out my Borderlands trailer reaction there too as well, based on the video game series. That looks really solid too as well. I'll be having more trailer reactions up and a couple movie reviews for you guys soon. I'll be having my Ghostbusters Frozen Empire review up soon, along with my trailer reactions to the Crow remake and to the new Bad Boys 4 film that's coming out in June. So keep your eyes out for that. If you haven't checked out my shorts, definitely check those out too, as people. Currently at 7:59. So yeah, thanks for subscribing, all you great people out there. Help us get to that magic 1,000 mark by the end of 2024. You guys are rocking it. Thank you. And also, if you haven't, check out my Patreon page where you can see all kinds of cool, funny stuff, such as bloopers, outtakes, and stuff like that once you become a member. So check that out too, people.
You heard the man. Go to his fucking Patreon. Or goddamn fucking Bondero's gonna or Obi's gonna piss on you like Blackfoot. All right, Andre's the pop culture guy. You slippery time travel motherfucker.
Sure. Hello, everyone. This is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. Sorry for my voice. Today, I had this for very bad today. So
Don't feel sorry for him.
Oh, fuck you, Cyber. Fuck you.
You're young. Fucking stop griping.
Oh, fuck both of you all. Anyway.
I don't sleep that way.
Oh, my God.
I do occasionally, but only in certain situations.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm up to 915 subscribers. Thank you, everyone, for supporting me. Just uploaded my X-Men 92 House of XCII Part 3. Great comic book series. Read it. Yesterday I did my Ghostbusters 40th anniversary review, and recently, first time for 2024, I got my first video of 1K reviews, and that's the Chucky birthday tribute video for the iconic slasher. So happy it's reaching really big numbers, so that's good. Great character, love the franchise. Soon, me and Cyber are going to do the live stream of the Chucky season 3 part 2 very soon. It's coming up in April. So,
oh yeah, Cyber's going to join us?
Hey, he's a buy it, so come on, join us. There's a lot of blood and guts and Chucky.
What, are you going to save that for like a surprise for me?
Hey, I mean, I have his Gmail. I sent it one time. It's there for him. If he wants to join, he can join. Anyway, so last Sunday, me and Jeff did the Ghostbusters live stream review. Thank you guys so much to be there. 74 reviews, which is good. But yeah, so and soon me and Jeff will talk in 2 weeks of what's going to be our next live stream review, because I know that I think in 2 weeks Chucky will be out, but we'll see. Anyway,
but let's do Jackie Brown if you want to do anything before Chucky comes out. Let's do Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown. Okay. I think
we don't have any. I don't have any places, any room in the schedule to add it to our movie schedule for this year. So if, either that or maybe another Quentin Tarantino film. Let's change it up from the comedy stuff and whatnot.
Well, I was going to ask you if we were going to do. I want to do the Winter Soldier because Captain America Winter Soldier because this April.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
And then the next live stream we'll do Jackie Brown. How about that? So
I'll do Winter Soldier.
Okay, and then we'll do Jackie Brown after Winter Soldier. That'll be the plan. All right. So
all right.
So
all right, cool.
Good news. We covered. Now I set up my April, so that's good. Anyway, so thank you everyone for supporting me and Cyber. Please help us hit that mark for 2024, and we should be good.
All right, most definitely. All right, folks. Well, as far as the MCU's Bleeding Edge goes, as I already mentioned it earlier, we really appreciate everybody out there that supports us. Thank you to everybody on all the platforms that we live stream on: X, Rumble, Twitch, Facebook Live, our Facebook page, of course, YouTube. Thank you to all of you who have loaded up our live stream here on YouTube the whole night and whatnot. There's 21 of you right now. We appreciate you. And thank you for all of you who catch this in video form tonight and tomorrow and whatnot, and further on. We love all of you. Peace out. God bless you. We will see you on Friday for Pacific Rim with Cyber moderating and drinking games. So, motherfuckers are going to... Oh, and Alan's coming from Blackly and Collective Podcast, so he gets fucked up. So, you should just come watch that, just to see Alan drunk as fuck. It's worth it. I promise. I might get drunk as fuck, too, so... All right, folks, we'll see y'all later. Peace. Peace.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Soon as we step out the cage, we raising all of the stakes.